Hello, my name is Holly and welcome to the Art of Yoga Project YouTube channel. Today we'll be going over Trikonasana, triangle pose, and a few things we may need or use as a block. And if this pose is completely new to you, you may or may not want a chair as well. Depending on how high the chair is or how new you are to the pose, I think just a regular chair, only about a couple of feet from the ground would be best, or 2 blocks could work, or 1 block, or no block. And then one other thing we'll use is a strap. If you have a strap, great. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can always use a blanket. Today I'll use a blanket for the purpose. So we'll just fold it up like so, and a blanket can also be good for beneath our knees if we need a little extra support or padding. So with whatever you have, wherever you are, whomever you're with, we'll get started with a little warm up. Beginning in the center of our mats, we'll start by just reaching our palms towards the ground and feel our feet beneath our hips. And maybe you notice you're swaying forwards and backwards a bit, side to side. Noting we can't find stillness immediately, and that's okay, but maybe pausing for a moment and just noticing what it's like to be still and arrive. We'll start by just dipping side to side. So when you're ready, we'll reach one palm up the side body and then the other one down. And we'll just kind of alternate this with the breath as we go side to side, inhaling one direction and exhaling the other direction. In today's class, we'll be working on triangle. Triangle is a good side body opening, so we'll be doing a lot of lateral stretches, opening up and getting really long the sides of our body. Maybe reach one arm up and then exhale, bring it down. Maybe just keep continuing with what you're doing, just maybe exaggerating if you choose, or just staying simple. So know that the options are how we move, and note that we're all showing up in different bodies, different places, different times. So just moving with what works for you throughout class. One more side to side, and then we'll pause in the center and do a few leg swings just to help us balance as well. Triangle is a good balancing posture, so we'll see if we can bring our weight into our left foot, maybe gaze at our right toes, and then just continue to gaze at the floor where your right toes were as you picked your right foot up, and start to swing your right leg forwards and backwards. This is also good to help awaken the joint, the hip joint, sort of decompressing the right leg as we swing it and balancing on our left leg. When we're balancing, finding that focus point is always a good idea to help us stay balanced, stay focused. Maybe you bring your arms into the motion with this. Maybe not. Maybe just swing the leg. If your heel sort of hits and grazes the ground, that's okay. See if you can flex your right foot. Stay nice and grounded through your left foot. Maybe a release in the arms. And then the legs so much just becomes sort of momentum takes over. Kind of like we're kick and pushing if you were on a skateboard or something. Balancing on your left foot. A couple more breaths here. And then exhale, just sort of let everything wind down, coming back to stillness, feeling the difference between either side, noting that, just taking that in as information. And then bring your right foot to the ground, nice and sturdy, flex our left toes. You'll see if you engage your left leg, it kind of lifts up off the ground a little bit naturally. Maybe this time you start swaying your arms forwards and backwards. And then again, gaze at your left toes in front of you. Keep your gaze where your left toes are on the floor, and then maybe your left leg comes and starts to swing in the motions with us. And we'll work on just going, again, with the breath. If you can maybe inhale and exhale. These are a little faster movements. Let your arms be heavy. Feel nice decompression in all the joints, from shoulder to finger, from hip to toe. We'll talk a lot about trinities today also, triangle pose, right? A triangle has three corners to it. So thinking about all the ways that trinities kind of show up in our lives. or threes show up in our lives. Take another breath on this side, and then eventually start to wind down, coming back to center. Hopefully feeling a little bit more alive in our limbs now. We'll just do a few hip circles. So bring the hands to the hips, feet beneath the hips, maybe slightly wider. And just like you were hula hooping or something, go around in a big circle. So we're gonna try to open up in the center of our legs here, our hip flexors, and kind of in the groin area where we feel it when we do splits. Triangle pose is a little bit of a split. So start to open in your hips, bring some awareness and breath and flow into the hips. Going one direction again, finding your shape. Maybe it's small, maybe it's wide. Just breathing with your movements. And then we'll take it the opposite way, sort of bringing it around town. So a couple examples of trinities and the way that they show up in life is in living, the experience of living, right? We are born, we live, and we die. So there's also another example with the visible light, or the white light, is made up of the things that we see. The three colors is red, green, and blue. And even in astrology, right? So the world that does surround us, there's a star, which can be like the sun, a planet, like Earth, and a moon. So thinking about trinities that show up for you. And we'll pause in the center, just doing one more warm up, sort of like we're expanding into a star. See if you can reach your arms up and your hands out. And then exhale, maybe come together. Inhale, expand out and jump out. And then exhale, sort of come together. And so you can take these slow or fast. Inhale, reaching up, and then exhale. So remember, finding those three corners of this shape. Inhale, reach the palms up is one point. The 2 points touching the ground are another point. And then exhale, maybe you take it a little faster. So these may be referred to as jumping jacks or something similar. You take them slow, fast, not my favorite, but is a good warm up for the center of the legs, really the whole body. So we want to get everything awake and ready for our practice. And taking it a couple more times or slowing it down. We'll eventually come to a seat. So taking this time, wherever you're at, whomever you're with, maybe you'd like to check in. It's always good to kind of show up and arrive and ask yourself how you're doing, especially if you're surrounding yourself with others and you're sharing this practice. One way to check in before today's class is sharing some trinities or some ways that you see threes show up in your life. So sharing your name and your feeling and an example of that. And then whenever we're ready, getting your props, making sure they're nearby, getting affiliated with your space. Again, knowing that this practice can be done with whatever, wherever, but it's always nicer if we have these props with us to help with the practice. We'll begin finding ourselves in the supine position. Supine meaning lying back on our spines. So once we're ready, just reclining yourself back, knowing that you can take this time to relax. Give yourself a few moments, even after that warm up, sort of heating up our bodies, giving yourself this time to kind of come back down to the earth, come back down to the ground. And just literally bringing yourself to the ground can help you feel grounded. So lying down at night, or just any time that you feel like you need to come back down, you can lie here on the ground for just a few moments and maybe closing the eyes, maybe gazing at the ceiling or whatever is above you, and see if we can notice our breath. Without trying to change it, just simply kind of noticing where it's at. So it could be in the chest, it could be in our lungs, or in our belly. So that's another way 3 comes into play. 3-part breathing. You might invite your breath to expand and explore all parts, all 3 parts. So maybe inhaling, feel your tummy expand. And then feel it rise up to the second part, being the lungs. And then all the way up to the chest. And then exhale, feel it kind of spill out of you. Letting go of anything that happened earlier, whatever's going on later today. Leaving that for then and being here and now. Take a few more moments to self. We'll invite some movement in, slowly bending our knees. Let's just begin by giving ourselves a big hug. Trying our hardest to reach around our knees, but then again, not trying to reach too far during the practice, only as far as feels good for you for now. And then we'll see if we can extend the left leg long, keep our right leg hugged in towards us. We're gonna go right into a hamstring stretch, finding your strap. Again, it can be a shirt, or mine's a makeshift strap with the blanket. It could be a blanket, it could really be anything. So finding whatever's around you. Let's lasso our foot with the strap or whatever thing you found. See if we can lie back, feel our shoulders on the ground, so try not to reach our shoulders off the ground. The strap is here for us. Even if you can reach your foot, it's easy for me to reach my foot some days, but even if you can, see if you can just grab a strap anyways. Because the idea isn't to try to reach too far, right? We're trying to get the stretch in the leg. This isn't trying to be too much work on our arms. So see if you can point and flex your toe, press your foot into your strap as you point your toe to the sky, and then flexing your toes would be towards your knees. And then let your strap pull the ball of your foot a little closer. We feel a nice stretch come in the back, all the way from the Achilles, attaching the heel to the leg, all the way down through the calf and the hamstring, all the attachments to the glute. And then maybe when you're ready, just grab your right hand to the strap, let your left arm come to the mat, and then exhale, kind of swing your right leg open like a door. And then inhale, bring it back up. So you feel an engagement of now the inside of your leg, the groin area that we mentioned, warming up there, and then maybe exhale and relax your right leg down. But then don't open the gate too wide, right? Only as wide as feels nice. You have control with your right palm on the strap to help lift your leg back up. And then exhale, release your leg back down to the floor. Take a pause between either side, noting these are sticky muscles that we're working through, so if any judgments come up, bring your left leg in now. Just letting your harsh judgments kind of float away like a cloud, noting that we're just here to practice, and practice makes progress, right? So let's lasso the left foot now. Now, this practice on our opposite leg might feel different, and that's okay. We'll see if we can find a nice hold on the strap, a nice place for our strap or whatever we're using on the foot. And let's point, press the toe, ball of the foot into the strap, and flex the toes towards the knee. Awakening the muscles behind the leg. Inhale and exhale. Now just bring your foot more to a neutral place, and then see if you can slowly start to bring your left leg in towards, closer to your body. Taking a moment to breathe into every part of the stretch that you're feeling, maybe even like doing a little face yoga, trying to smile, noting we can hold a lot of tension in our face, and that can affect and translate to the rest of the body. Let's just hold the strap now with our left hand. Bring your right palm to the ground for sort of a T shape. And then taking it nice and slow, we're gonna swing our gate open. Exhale, let the left leg come out. And then inhale with the strength of our left arm, assisting our left leg back up. Exhale, open. Inhale, kind of close the gate once more. And this is warming up the hip joint. This is making sure we're staying strong in our groin, lifting up our leg. But then now we can maybe release into the stretch. Just sort of let our left arm do the work by holding our left foot in the strap. However open your gait is right now, that's all right. Take a pause wherever feels nice for you, knowing that pain is not the game here. So feeling tension, just feeling tension is like paying attention to it. And that's okay. It's just noticing something different. But pain is not where we grow. And we're trying to create space here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, descend left leg to the floor. Remove your strap or your blanket for now. Fold it up, we may use it later. Give yourself a big hug. And we'll just rock and roll for a few moments. Just find a nice rock and roll. I like this one. It's good to warm up our spines. It gives me energy, feeling like kind of a playful child, gearing up for our practice. And then eventually find yourself up all the way onto the feet. And maybe you have to assist yourself up another way, and that's okay. We'll do one moon salutation. So starting in our mountain, our salutations always begin with this wise mountain posture. It might not feel like a lot, but noting there's a lot happening here. The feet beneath the knees beneath the hips. Maybe even rock your weight back into the heels a little bit so you can lift your toes up. And see if we can place the palms by the sides. Relax your shoulders down and take a few breaths. Maybe set an intention before we begin to move with our breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. It's like your inhale inflates your palms up to the sky. And then exhale, go ahead and step it out like a star to the side. So our moon salutations will start like this. We'll start reaching like so, out like a star. Exhale, the hands come to the hips. And then maybe the hands come to the knees. Let's dip the shoulder one way, dip one shoulder the other way. Getting a little twist action in our spines. Also a nice opening in the insteps of the legs again. Got a goddess shape with the legs. Our toes are pointed out, knees above the ankles. Take it slow, nice and slow. Dipping shoulder, one shoulder at a time. Inhale, brighten your star out. Exhale, go ahead and point your left toes to the front of the mat. Point your right toes in. So we have the back foot at about a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to go ahead and see if we can find ourselves in a warrior two for a moment. And then exhale down, cartwheel our hands down. Hover on that back foot. Come down with the back knee. And let's find a low lunge. So a low lunge looks like a crescent moon pose. So we'll bring the fingers up. And all the way from our fingers to our back toes, we have a nice crescent shape. Note you want to keep your left knee on top of your left ankle for safety, so that we're not hyperextending the knee. And then let's try to lunge forward. Maybe instead of bringing the palms up, we now bring them down to the knee and relax into our lunge a little more. We can kind of maneuver our foot forward slightly if you feel like you're stretching more and beyond that ankle. Take a breath here, and then nice and slow, hover your palms up again in your low crescent lunge. And exhale, now bring the palms to the instep of the left foot. Come back up onto the right ball of the foot, and then see if we can kind of walk our hands over so that they're facing the front now, both toes pointing forward. Look forward in front of you. And then exhale, let your head dip down, a wide-legged forward fold. And inhale, press the hands into the mat, gaze comes forwards again, hands to the hips. Let's walk ourselves back up, heel toe the feet in again. Inhale, rise, brighten your star. Exhale, bend the right knee this time, point the right toes towards the back of your mat, left toe. Go ahead and bring it in a little bit, 45-degree angle. And we'll take a warrior two. Pause, notice what's happening. We have about 3-4 feet, depending on how tall you are, between the feet. You have your front heel. If it were to draw a line, it would intercept with the back foot. That's the alignment we want for the feet in triangle too. Let's cartwheel the hands down now to the mat. Bring ourselves onto the back knee. So top of the left foot comes to the mat. Now let's inhale, reach our palms up, press top of the left foot, right foot into the mat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, maybe take a bend, a little slight bend into the front knee. So bring the hands to the knee to stay safe. And then maybe start to inch, like an inchworm, your right foot forward a bit. Only if you feel the space in your left quad. Quad is this big juicy muscle in the front of our thigh. Feel a scissoring action as we do this, so that way we don't keep our legs from coming apart, they're coming together, kind of scissoring. Inhale your arms up. When you feel ready in your low lunge, reach and notice if there's too much space between your shoulders or not enough. So you can relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Tuck your tailbone, maybe look up, look back. Beautiful crescent. Crescents are different shapes, depending on your shape, right? Exhale, come down with the hands inside of the foot. Back up onto the back left leg, and then walk the hands back under the shoulders. Both toes point forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it all come out. Shake your head out. Yes, no, maybe so. Beautiful. Hands come to the hips, and then we'll inhale, rise back up. Nice. Inhale, open up to your star. And then exhale brings you back to your mountain. We'll do one more moon salutation to warm up, and just this time move with your breath if you can. Inhale. So salutations are great to get the cardiovascular system moving and the whole body warmed up. Inhale to your tall mountain. Exhale, go ahead, and this time bring your hands to the floor. And go ahead, rise up, inhale once more. And then exhale, step it out, star. Inhale, rise, nice and bright in your star, toes pointed out slightly. Exhale into your goddess pose. Inhale, rise, star pose. Exhale, go ahead, hands to the hips. And let's see if we can face left toes forward, right toes in a bit. Exhale, warrior two. Gaze is nice, comfortable over left fingers. Again, find an alignment, left knee and ankle stacked. Inhale, go ahead, and then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. We'll come down to a low lunge on this side. So finding ourselves, rise up, low lunge, inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands to the inside of that foot, onto the back toes, and then walk. I feel kind of like a ninja when I go side to side like this, right? So just try to go to side for a moment, moving with your breath, or just pausing in your wide-legged forward fold. And then exhale, find yourself for a moment in stillness, or walking hands over to the right, walking hands over to the left. You can play around with these movements, do whatever feels nice, whatever brings inspiration to you, whatever inspiration you're feeling. Note that you're your best teacher, so take that guidance. Inhale, bring your hands to your waist again, rise all the way up, nice and strong. Find yourself now in your warrior two, facing the back of our mats, right foot forward, left toes in a bit. Nice fierce warrior two. Relax your shoulders away. Don't hold any unnecessary tension here. What is it that you're focused on? Maybe finding that focus here for a bit. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Find your low lunge again. Inhale, rise tall. And then exhale, go ahead, hands down. Walk ourselves back to the center. And then inhale, hands to the hips. Beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and come to the front of our mats. Do one more standing variation of a balance posture to help get us geared up for triangle pose, and then we'll do triangle. Finding ourselves now in that pose that we did at the beginning of class. Let's see if we can lasso our right foot into our strap or our blanket. Left foot on the ground. All right, inhale, straighten your right leg. So it's a little different. So you can gaze at your right toe. It's a little different than when we're on the ground. Now we have the element of balance. But we're gonna do the same thing. Bring your right hand to the strap, left hand to your hip, and bring your right foot out. Now maybe inhale, reach it up, and find some balance, find some playfulness with this gait. that we've opened the right leg. Option to keep your hand on your knee here if the strap isn't working, and just open up like so. And then exhale, release. Shake it out, let it go. Just a little balance practice, because I feel like triangle pose is a little bit of a balance. So again, we'll try this. If you want to do the knee variation, if you want to grab your strap with me, left leg now lassos into the strap. Inhale, straighten our legs. Gaze at the toes. Get your grip on your strap with your left hand. Right hand for stability on the hip, or you can just kind of have it out to the side, reaching. Find your gaze, and even though your left toes have moved, keep bringing your gaze to that left, where your left toes were in front of you. Inhale, maybe reach up. Pause, breathe, find some playfulness, and then exhale, release it. Maybe you bring your hand to your knee and you open like this. So that's kind of a fun version of tree pose. And we'll take it off, let that side go, shake it off. Let's go ahead and move into our triangle pose, our last pose. So have your block or your chair nearby. I will show how to do it with both. So finding our block, let's go ahead and set it at the front of our mat, or the chair at the front of your mat if you know that you may need it. Let's go ahead and find our right foot forward. Let's start with our left foot forward, right foot back. Okay, right ankle is in line with the chair, or it's in line with the block. Okay, find your warrior two legs if you can. So find your warrior two. Straighten the front leg, create that triangle shape. Okay, so we might start to create some heat, and that's okay, right? Heat even needs three things, right? The element it needs is heat, fuel, and oxygen. So getting all these things aligned, right? So that way we can have a good setup here. Straighten our hands like we were in warrior two. Reach your gaze and reach your left palm forward. When you feel the lateral stretch kick in and it's enough for your inside of your leg and the outside of your hip, go ahead and bring your left hand down to the block. Right palm up. Your hands are in a line, or you can extend your right arm. Option again, remember you can have this chair here for support. If the block is too far or the floor is too far, noting you can take these things to set up, just where you need them. Find your 3 points, the top palm, the 2 feet rooting. Another breath here. And then inhale. And rise yourself back up. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. So we can also revolve our triangle if we'd like for a little twist. So this time we'll bring the hands to the hips, face them forward. Okay? It's going to be more like we're standing on train tracks with the feet, but that's okay. And then bring right hand this time. Revolve it. Hand to the chair, remember, or to the block. And then maybe gaze up to the left hand. A little twist, added, revolve, triangle. Still 3 points, right? So we have the support of the right hand, but we're not relying on it so much. Reaching up, left hand, feet down. And then come on out, nice and slow. Beautiful. Find yourself back in the center. Let that side go, shake it out. Know that this side will be completely different, and that's okay. So we started with our left foot forward. Now let's bring our right foot forward. Okay, I'm just reorienting to face you guys. Okay, let's start in warrior two. We have the chair here, I'll show, and the block here. So warrior two legs. Right toe pointed forward, left toes pointing in a bit. Find yourself in a warrior two. Gaze up and over the right palm, straighten your right leg, create a triangle shape between your legs. Inhale, reach. When you feel you've gotten to that peak and you're good, exhale to send your right palm to the floor, to the block, to the chair. Inhale your left palm up. Option to look forward or option to gaze up towards the palm. Pause in stillness. Notice these 3 points. Left palm up, right and left foot down. The block is on a high setting. If this is hard for you to reach, grab a chair. Try it with a chair. Take a breath. And then exhale, we'll go ahead and bring the hands to the hips. Let's revolve. Invite a twist now into the triangle. So again, hands on the block or hand on the chair, reach, twist, revolve. I already feel like triangle pose has 3 elements, right? It's kind of a split, a twist, and a balance. So keeping up with these 3 in 1, embodying your pose. That's another way we have it in yoga, right? Inhale, come up and out. And bring yourself back to center. Just kind of shake it out. So in yoga, we also have 3 elements, right? We embody the pose, we sustain the pose, but then we eventually let the pose go. Okay, so let's let all that go. Find ourselves in a nice supine position again. We'll do a little cool down. So just a little cool down, taking moments to yourself to just lie again, grounding ourselves. And then taking this time to maybe grab an eye pillow if you have it, or again, a shirt can work, something you can lie over your eyes to just help eliminate distractions. Just give yourself permission to take these few moments at the end of our class to just completely release and let go of all the shape, the triangle, everything. Going back to maybe that 3-part breath, maybe noticing your breath kind of slow down with you. Go ahead and let's take one more hug to self with your eye pillow on. You can still give yourself a big hug. Inhale, exhale, drop your knees over to the right. So thinking about what trinities most resonate with you. Maybe it's in religions. Some religions have the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. On earth, we have elements in nature that guide us, right? Wind, fire, earth. And then inhale, bring your knees up. Exhale, let them go to the other side. Just taking a supine twist, but letting yourself be held in this pose. And letting go. Letting a twist serve as a way to kind of drench it out, right? Anything left that's not serving you, let it go. In this twist, with this breath, kind of like a rag or a sponge, right? We just clean it out every now and then. Our bodies need the same attention. And then inhale, bring your knees up. Exhale, let the feet come down. And relax, finding again that stillness. And maybe coming in connection with the 3 parts that we are made up of as people, as beings, right? We have a mind, the thing that thinks for us all the time, right? We have the body moving, the physical self. And then we also have this soul, something that controls our emotions, right? Our morals, something larger than us. And seeing if you can find some sort of connection for any of these trinities that you've come up with, or any of the ones that I've mentioned. And slowly bring yourself back to movement. You can take time to pause the video, no rush, but moving on out. If you're ready with me, rolling yourself onto your side, letting your props fall off to the side, and we'll come on up to a seat. So taking this time to sort of check out with yourself silently. Again, thinking about any of those trinities that resonate with you and why. Maybe sharing that with the people around you and your name and your feeling, if that's changed. Otherwise, we're going to head and do a collective breath, although we can't be together, right? We can all still breathe the same breath. Again, I thank you so much for practicing with me again here at the Art of Yoga Project YouTube channel. Anywhere you want to bring your palms that resonates with you, by the heart in a prayer, maybe just on your lap or on your belly. Taking this moment to inhale and exhale. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.